Oh, Germany. You had a lot of interesting ideas during World War II, didn't ya? A lot of them were bad. Some interesting weapons, though. Some cool toys, something. Yeah, we can separate that from the horrific political ideologies. We've done that historically on this channel a lot. And also, what the heck is this? What is that? What is it? Well, you are looking at a never-built design for the Landkreuzer P1000 Rat. Or the Landkreuzer P1000 Rat. Yeah, it's actually pretty on the nose, even in German. Which is a design for a 1,000-ton tank. What? Germany, Germany, don't walk away from me. Come back here. No. Listen, it was time to stop a long time ago, and yeah, okay. So, this never got off the drawing board, or even really on the drawing board. How far this got along in development is seriously debated, because it's completely ridiculous, and basically everybody who knew anything about tank building in Germany, and there were quite a few experts, knew that this was never going to friggin' work. But Hitler himself was interested in the idea and asked for it to be explored. So they explored it and immediately stopped exploring it after they did the math and were like, yeah, we knew this wasn't going to work, and this seriously isn't going to work, but man, does it look cool. A 1,000-ton tank? Really? What for? Well, the limited development history that this thing had originates in 1941, involving a strategic study of Soviet heavy tanks that was being conducted by Krupp, which was Germany's premier weapons manufacturer during both of the world wars, actually. That study resulted in two major things. One was actually built, the Panzer VIII Maus, which never got completed, but it was a super heavy tank and still exists. And though she never exited the prototype stage, she still stands, as of now, as the heaviest fully enclosed armored fighting vehicle ever constructed, at an astonishing 188 tons. Okay, and the Maus didn't really work too well, mostly because she was just too dang heavy. Whenever you're developing any kind of vehicle, you have to consider the context here, because a lot of types of vehicles can get very large. Ships, for example, can get absolutely massive, and locomotives can get pretty big too. Heck, even planes can get pretty large. But when you're dealing with something not on the water or in the air or on a track, like on the ground, things start to change. Details need to be ironed out, and issues crop up. Mostly because this thing has to be able to move over the ground, often rough terrain, not necessarily on roads, as well as cross bridges, meant for much lighter vehicles. And the Maus could basically never do any of that. And you also have to have an engine powerful enough to move such a heavy beast across said ground, and all of this is a technical nightmare. And how worth it is to do that is also debated, because yes, you could make it very large and very powerful with a big gun with a lot of armor, but also it's a bigger target. Especially given aircraft were extremely prevalent by World War II, and they could just bomb it into the dirt. You know, like, you gotta consider all these factors. The Maus never entered combat because it was never out of the prototype stage. The Germans did have some pretty large tanks like the Royal Tigers, and even they had their problems, though at least in their case they weren't so big as to be completely useless, and were pretty tough to kill if they forced a fight, although Allied tanks tended to just outmaneuver them because they were big and heavy and slow, and the Shermans were like, we're just gonna go around that, because wow, no. But that's all problems with the Maus. The Rat amplifies that by being even bigger, 5 times heavier. Though granted, to be fair, the original idea as proposed wasn't necessarily a tank. It was supposed to be a 1,000-ton self-propelled gun. That's where the name Landkreuzer comes from. It was meant to be a fully tracked chassis carrying one of the surplus main gun turrets that was left over from a planned refitting of the Scharnhorst-class battleships. Granted, it was supposed to be armored, 25 centimeters thick to be precise, and also have a set of anti-aircraft guns to fend off air attack because they knew that this thing would be a target. Hitler loved the concept because he loved big, impressive nonsense, and ordered them to begin development on it in 1942, and they did do some work on it, but yeah, basically all the problems I mentioned came up. The project evolved into being a big tank, but honestly, I resist even calling it that because this is no longer a tank at this point. This is a land battleship, which is a concept that does exist, but has never really been fulfilled with any degree of success, because once you put something the size of a battleship, or even remotely close to that, on land, moving it becomes a major problem. And that was kind of the issue with the Rat. Like, yeah, they could design it to look all cool, and it would look all cool, and in theory you could build it, but at what cost? Well, a whole bunch of materials and time and labor and money that could be better spent on a bunch of smaller, more effective tanks. Albert Speer, in particular, who was the Minister of Armaments and War Production, took one look at the design and said, no? No, what? Who asked for this? Oh, he did. Okay, well, that makes sense. Also, no! And he wound up canceling the project by 1943, before they could even attempt to build a prototype. And it's still debated exactly how far it was along in development, because not every historian remains convinced that they even got to an outline. Pretty much everyone agrees that Hitler asked for a study into this, but in terms of the actual outline, it's hard to say exactly how far along they were, and this hinges on the intention to use those battleship guns that I mentioned, remember? This whole thing was meant to carry one of the leftover surplus turrets, and that's fine, but those turrets in particular, by themselves, weighed 750 tons. And if this thing was only supposed to be, only supposed to be 1,000 tons, are you telling me that the entire rest of this thing, all of it, the armor, the extra anti-aircraft guns, the ammo for the guns, the treads, like the engines, everything, only adds 250 tons on top of the tremendous weight of that turret? Because, I don't believe you. It's kind of where I'm at with it. You also have to consider that those turrets require separate magazines and shell rooms, as well as the handling machinery for their ammunition, because the shells alone are exceedingly heavy, and all that would require a bunch of space that just isn't possible even in a 1,000-ton vehicle. It would need to be even bigger for that to work. So some argue that the design we've seen and consider the Rat may not be the design at all. It may have never even been drawn to begin with. It was just a paper project, so... But based off of the paper intention, it would have been, as I mentioned, 1,000 tons. 35 meters long, 11 meters high, 14 meters wide, and in order to distribute its great weight, it would have 6 1.2 meter wide and 21 meter long treads. 6 treads! 6! Those would be kind of mashed together to form 2 composite treads, with a total lift of 3.6 meters each. As far as moving it, well, bridges were obviously out of the question. In fact, it would have destroyed any roads it went down. As far as getting over rivers, well, it is so big that fording over a river actually would not be a major problem for it, assuming the engines were powerful enough to move it at all. In fact, speaking of the engines, it was supposed to be powered by 2 MAN V12Z32/44 24-cylinder marine diesel engines, which would supply 8,400 horsepower each. So, well, in the interest of fairness, we are talking about marine diesel engines. These kinds of engines are supposed to push ships forward and supply a lot of power, as I just explained. So unlike some of Germany's smaller tanks that were struggling finding an engine both compact enough and powerful enough to move them, the Rat was so big that it kind of dodged that bullet because it was big enough to have marine diesel engines in it, which might have handled it better. There was also the proposal to use 8 Daimler-Benz MB 501 20-cylinder marine diesel engines, which each provided 2,000 horsepower. The engines were also going to be given snorkels because, again, it would have to ford over rivers, and indeed, based off the original concept, it was supposed to have a friggin' naval gun as its primary weapon. This turret would have been a 28cm SK C/34 naval gun turret, though slightly modified. The original version of this turret actually had 3 barrels. For the tank, they were going to take off the middle barrel, leaving it with only 2, in order to reduce the weight of the tank a little bit. Not by an overwhelming amount compared to everything, but a little bit. A little bit. They didn't think about that. It would also have some other guns, including those anti-aircraft guns I mentioned before, 8 20mm flak 38s, as well as 2 15mm Mauser MG151 autocannons, and would also have a smaller than the naval gun, but also still massive, 128mm anti-tank gun, which is the same kind the Maus had. And it would have been so large that it would have had vehicles within the vehicle. It would be given a bay that could hold 2 BMW R12 motorcycles for scouting purposes, and even an infirmary and a lavatory system on board. The whole thing was basically a moving fortress. But as I mentioned when I started this and keep mentioning, listen, as cool as this may be, and I'll give him that. Like the idea as a fictional concept, as an ace combat boss fight, this is really, really cool. Also, this was never gonna work at all. The weight alone causes a problem because even with the tremendous amount of power the engines gave it, you're still talking about moving it over land, which includes things like going up hills. They thought they might be able to push it to 25 miles per hour, which, great. And that's pretty fast for something this size, but also that's on paper. And I can assure you, based off of the top speed of a lot of the large tanks that Germany had, I'm not 100% convinced this thing would have been able to manage 25 miles per hour. It certainly wouldn't have been able to do it uphill. But the biggest issue has to do with the overall size. The mass here. I mentioned aircraft earlier, and yeah, it did have anti-aircraft guns, and that's great, but it's still, like, an obvious, glaring target. Not even just for aircraft, for, like, artillery fire. Just shell it from miles out. Like, there are a lot of ways to defeat this kind of super weapon, I'm just saying. And you also have to consider the fact that what if it was disabled in the field, huh? What if that happened? Because that happens with tanks sometimes. You know, a tread falls off, for example, or the engines fail. What if that occurred? Well, they were utterly hosed, because not only would it have been quite literally impossible to do, like, tread maintenance or something like this in the field. Like, that's not gonna happen. Maybe internal maintenance on the engines, but either way, the point is that if you were put in a situation where you couldn't fix this thing and it was out in the field, how are you gonna move it? It was so heavy that you couldn't even put it on a railroad. That's how heavy it was. There was no existing railway or railroad car that could bear the weight of the thing. And even if you could put it on one of those, it was too wide for tunnels. Like, you literally wouldn't have been able to move it at all if the engines died, or the treads failed, or the transmission went out, or anything. You see the problem here? Well, the Germans did, and they didn't actually build this, as interesting and neat as it would have been. Although, it is rumored that somebody considered the idea of making an even bigger version, the Landkreuzer P1000 Monster. Now, I've seen this one running around on YouTube. I've even mentioned it before, but I think even when I mentioned it, I pointed out that this one probably was never a serious proposal and may not have ever been proposed at all. This one was meant to be an even larger self-propelled gun, but it's suspected by many that this was probably maybe a kind of sort of an outright hoax and not even like something that was ever seriously considered or even proposed whatsoever. Also, it wouldn't have worked for basically all the reasons I just said, but amplified again because it was even bigger. Listen. Just make more artillery pieces, okay? Do anything else but do this. I'm just saying. Till next time, this is Darkness, and I bid you all a fun farewell.